Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com. Today we're going to take a look at Devil Forge's single burner oval forge and do a product review on it. Now this is one of the most affordable forges that Devil Forge makes. It's one of their smallest forges. It's a single burner oval forge. They actually make a similar forge in round, but this one's the oval one. It comes with everything that you need except for the propane tank. The regulator, the hose, all of the fittings, the forge body itself. It even comes with a fire brick to act as the floor of the forge. The assembly is very simple. In fact, you can assemble this in probably about 2 minutes. The first step is to take the hose nipple and screw it onto the regulator. I just use a screwdriver and a small adjustable wrench to assemble these forges. Once the hose nipple is attached to the regulator, you can slide a hose clamp onto the hose, which is also provided. And then you really want to push that hose, all of the way down onto that nipple. It's a little bit tough. You could certainly lubricate it up with a little bit of soap and water, but if you twist it, it's not too bad. Get it all the way on, and then tighten up that fitting. I'm just using a screwdriver, and after I get it snug with a screwdriver, I always like to go back with that same adjustable and just tighten it a little bit more with the adjustable wrench. Later on, when you have this hooked up to the propane, you can spray a little soap and water on it and just check for leaks. I haven't had a problem with any of them, and I've tested several of these forges recently. The next step is going to be to put a hose clamp on the other end of the hose and then to attach it to the hose nipple on the burner assembly. So again, you put the hose all the way onto the nipple and then tighten the hose clamp. Same thing applies here. Snug with a screwdriver, and then I like to give it a couple turns with a wrench. Now the floor of the forge is a fire brick that just slides into place. It comes pre-cut to size. The burner assembly just slides into its mounting sleeve located on the top of the burner, up top of the forge. Make sure that the burner protrudes through the inside of the insulation on the inside of the forge. Basically, you want the flame from the burner to go into the forge, not in between the insulation and the body. And that just snugs up with 3 screws. At the top of the burner, there's a choke. You always want to have this choke, especially when you're starting out, open just less than 1/4 of an inch. And you'll adjust that once you light the forge so that you get the proper light blue flame. And that's covered in the instruction sheet, which is provided with the forge. The last step in the assembly is just going to be to pack the tube, or between the tube and the burner, with insulation, which is provided. I forgot to mention before that all Devil Forges now come with rigidizer, but I'm going to cover the painting of that rigidizer onto the insulation on a separate video. To test this forge, we decided to do something a little special. My friend Jay Northgard welded up 3 pieces of high carbon steel, and we figured we'd test this to see if we could bring it to welding temperature. Now, I haven't done this with one of their forges before. We've tested a few, and we've used them for heat treating knives. We've used them for forging and shaping material, and these forges are perfect for both of those. But we thought it'd be really interesting to see if we could use one of their most affordable models and have it bring high carbon steel up to a point where it could be hammer welded. And to say the least, we were very pleasantly surprised. It only took a few minutes to bring this material up to cherry red, and a few more minutes to bring it up to adequate temperature. Now, as I mentioned before, Jay's a 4th generation blacksmith. He's got all the tools of the trade. He's got a power hammer. We've used that for this test. But the principles are the same, whether you're going to pound it out by hand or pound it out with a power hammer. So it's 3 pieces of 1095 high carbon steel, which was clamped together, welded together, and then heated up in the single burner Devil Forge, and then hammer welded. Now Jay did heat it a few times and hammer it a few times. I think this is his second trip back to the power hammer. And you can see that flames actually come out both sides of the forge, called a dragon's breath. So you definitely want to use these things either outdoors or in an area where there's no chance of anything catching fire. Also, you always want to keep the hose, the propane hose, away from either end of the forge. So this is the billet that we hammer welded after we let it cool. I was just going to grind off the corner to show you how well the 3 pieces of material had welded together. Ended up just chopping a piece off the end. And you can see here that those 3 pieces have now become one. To say the very least, very impressed with this lightweight single burner forge from Devil Forge. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. By all means, join us on our Facebook group, Knives and Knife Making, and check us out on the internet at DIYEasyCrafts.com. We have a variety of how-to videos, including actually hundreds of how-to knife making videos. Thank you very much.